BP Hero Podcast, Season 3, Episode 3. My man, Will, is back with us. Back from Hurricane Florence, right?
Yeah, man. Took us for a ride there.
So, did you rode out the whole storm right there at home, right?
Yeah, so for those that don't know, I live right outside of Wilmington, North Carolina, and I work for Duke Energy Power Company down here, so I was all but obligated to stay, and so I did, and here I am still, so that's a good thing.
Oh, see, I thought you stayed to kind of keep an eye on the house. I didn't realize, you had to stay.
Yeah, I had to stay because as soon as it passed, we were out.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. That was the first hurricane I really rode out, I guess. But
yeah, because you moved a while back and you moved closer to the coast, right?
Yeah, I did. I moved about a year and a half ago.
How much
down here for work?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure. That's what I was thinking. Well, at least you made it. We're glad you're here. We did podcasts without you. I hope you don't hate us.
I'll let it slide.
Just this one time.
Yeah, just once. Don't let it happen again.
Okay, all right. No, I tell you what. Next time we'll just have you give us a play-by-play of the hurricane. You can go stand outside and exaggerate how hard the wind's blowing, like that one dude. I'm sure you saw it on Facebook.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. That funny story. That guy actually came up to me and a guy from work. He actually walked up to us and started talking to us, and I was like, "Man, that guy looks familiar."
Oh no!
He had on his Weather Channel jacket and everything. And I went back when we got back from downtown. I went and looked, and sure enough, it was the same guy that was in the infamous video of trying to stand up.
Dude, that is awesome. Yeah. I wonder how much of a goon that dude had to feel like after he did that.
Based on what he was saying to us, he's a little out there, I believe. But
I can believe that. I mean, you almost got to be
here nor there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's not what we're here to talk about.
Yeah. Contrary to what you may think.
Oh God. So the major, man, I usually like to talk about what's been happening on the channel. Honestly, it hasn't been a whole lot. I spent the last week just I work nights, and I think I got about 8 hours of sleep all last week because the major was on all week long.
Yeah.
So I spent that whole time watching games. Did you get to catch any of the games?
I did. I caught most of the weekend games. I think that weekend I had one day off, which was Sunday. So I managed to sneak a couple of games in on Saturday, but I watched games all Sunday. So
you went back and caught up on Sunday then?
Yeah.
I got you. Well, at least you got to catch all the good stuff then. I mean, it's, all the... There was good games. I mean, hell, there was good games all week. I mean, really wasn't, a whole lot of landslide games like there was before. Why that was, I don't know. But
yeah, I was kind of surprised. There were a lot of good games, like you said. So it was nice to see that. I like to see the playing field kind of even its way out, even though we all know it's a big three-way.
Oh yeah,
conference,
yeah, it's the three major teams are expected to finish 1, 2, 3, but there was a couple A and double A teams that gave those major teams a run for their money.
Yeah, they did. That was good to see too.
Yes, I mean it's good for the sport. Who knows what's going to happen next year? I know there's been a lot of rumors about player moves. Supposedly, Smash It Sports and Rosmondo are going to merge.
Yeah, that's word on the street anyway.
Yeah, I've been kind of trying to keep up with some of it on the Old Scout. I guess players on there kind of get bent out of shape if people get on there and talk about them. And I don't know, kind of my message to that is if you don't want people on there talking about it, then I guess either A, clear the rumors, or B, be a little more open. I mean, there's there is a few conference players that get on there and chime in a little bit here and there, but.
Right.
For the most part, it's nobody says anything until somebody's already flown off the handle or somebody's getting dragged through the mud, and then somebody wants to chime in. Which, I mean, it's still cool that they chime in, but I don't know.
They're basically celebrities in this little small sport, whether they know it or not. There's a lot more drama, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're on the big stage. I mean, everybody's watching you.
Yeah, for sure.
But You've got like Jason Branch is pretty active on there. John Williams was pretty active on there towards the end of the season, especially when it came to talking about him going from pure to smash it, and
Right.
when all that stuff went down. And it was cool that he was an open book about all that stuff. I think
Yeah, and I think that's probably the best way to be about it because once you start hiding stuff, you kind of cover up a cover up and cover up that cover up, and
yeah, right,
you end
right.
up running around in circles. So
Yeah, I thought that was cool that he was kind of an open book about things and was answering questions about it. And I mean, it's good for the sport. It's good for the quote unquote fans of the game because it's hard to explain to somebody like you're a fan of slow pitch softball, man. What are you going to do this weekend? Oh, I'm going to go home and watch guys play slow pitch.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
the looks you get at work is kind of like, the fuck's wrong with this guy?
Yeah, but those of us that like the game itself and like to stay involved with the game. I mean, it's enjoyable to me anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Especially, just getting to watch that stuff, for whatever the reason might be, whether you like the competition aspect of it or whatever. I don't know. I really enjoy watching the games.
Yeah, I do too.
There's all kinds of rumors on, KP going back to Resmondo and this and that. And really the only thing I've taken from everything so far that I've been reading on the Old Scout, I talked to a couple of conference players. I'm not going to start right on their cages yet. I might kind of poke and prod around and see what I can get figured out in the next couple of weeks. I mean, Tuesday was the first big day that you can announce stuff like that. And one of the big rumors was Bryson Baker leaving Resmondo and going to Dan Smith. And, DW said that he had it heard from, he never says, that he's heard this for sure until he gets two reliable sources. DW said he had two reliable sources that Baker was going to Dan Smith. And then Baker just gets on there and just, well, I don't know who said what or whatever else, but I'm not going to Dan Smith and on and on and on. And then, I guess, they're playing the Super this weekend. So maybe that's why, he's going to kind of wait on that before everything happens. I don't know. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
I got on there right before this started to kind of catch up on that, and it looked like he was being a little defensive about it. So who knows?
And I mean, more power to the guy. I mean, he's made more money playing softball than I'll make in a lifetime.
Yeah, me too.
Right. So there is that, but I don't know. I guess it goes back to being the open book thing, or maybe he just didn't want to be a distraction. Who knows? But anyway, back on topic. Basically the only thing I've taken is Branch is going to TDB. That's what he said because somebody was, telling Branch trying to keep his head up, and somebody was inspired by Branch, whatever the post was, and he said, make sure you get me your address. I'll send you a TDB hat. So we've at least got that one on the burner at least. But that's the only player moves I've seen. I can't believe if Smash It and Resmondo do join forces, it's going to be interesting to see who makes the cut and who doesn't.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing to take away from that rumor because there's so many good players that I think it'll just end up being I don't know. I guess the two teams will kind of make their rounds and then they'll probably end up back where they started.
Sure. Which is like a
lot.
Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of players on each team came from the other as it is. So
yeah, at one point some of those guys have been on both teams.
Yeah.
But it's like I was telling you last night, we were talking about it a little bit. I mean, my guess is to what Resmondo would be if all this is true. My guess is to what Resmondo would be Jeremy Yates, Steele Lewis, Brian Wegman, Bubba Mack, Corey Briggs, Kevin Bazat, Cannell, Pearson, Travis Clark, Ryan Harvey, Bryson Baker, possibly. Wow. I mean, who do you not pitch to? Yeah, who do you not pitch to, and who do you pitch to in that lineup? I mean, geez, dude.
Yeah, but the flip side of that is look who could possibly be, wherever they go, whether they make another team or not.
Sure. Yeah, because you still got guys like Purcell and Santana and Josh Riley.
Yeah, for sure. Josh Riley had a great year, by the way.
Oh, dude, he killed the ball at the major. Absolutely crushed the ball.
I like watching that guy play all year.
Yeah, him and Harvey, dude, they were having a home run derby at the major. Like I said, I don't know how many of the games you caught, but I think Harvey hit. Of course, I'm watching from a screen, but Harvey hit what I saw to be the long ball. He hit one to right center that actually landed on it looked like somewhere around the first base line of the field behind it there. Dude, what a bomb.
Yeah, that's a poke there.
I mean, between him and Davis Billardello, dude, he was murdering the ball. He had a couple, I swear, still haven't landed. I mean, it was insane.
I like watching that guy hit, man. He's got this little hitch in his swing that's kind of weird when you watch it, but God, he puts every ounce of it behind the ball, and it just goes a long freaking way.
Yeah, dude is an athlete for sure. I mean, he absolutely kills the ball. I like watching these YouTube videos and stuff too. If anybody wants to check him out or don't know who we're talking about, you head over to YouTube, check out Dynamic Softball. He's got a few bat reviews on there and does pretty cool stuff with some radar stuff, comparing like ASA bats, and I don't know. He's a good dude. I talk to him here and there a little bit. If I ever got a question, he never hesitates to answer them, and seems like a pretty cool guy. Maybe we should get him on as a guest on the podcast sometime and get him to download this stinking Discord app like a bunch of gamer losers and get him to join us. Davis, if you're listening to this, because I think you've listened to a few of the podcasts, so if you're listening to this, you should hit us up and get your spot here on the podcast.
For sure.
But yeah, back to who could possibly be out to place from this merger. I mean, then you got guys, like I said, you got Riley, and then Brandon Dillon. Where's he going to go? You got John Williams, Flip Washington.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and on. I think somebody was saying at the major that Brett Rettenmeyer is going to end up going with Pure next year, I believe.
Yeah, I think he's a monster guy anyway. So that
he plays with Carl and the monster guys.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, I think going to Pure is just going to be a solid move for him. Hey, you hear that noise?
No.
Oh, that's a great noise right there. I wish this was video so we could do the drink of the podcast. I'm drinking a Schlafly. It's a local brewery. It's a white lager, and it makes me real happy.
Oh, nice. I'm just drinking Corona because that's what I have in my refrigerator.
Oh, man. We hear a good story about some Corona. So we're getting way off topic, and I don't even care because this is a good story.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So next time you're at a bar, or unless you just happen to have citrus vodka at your house, do you drink your Corona with lime?
Yes.
So next time you're feeling adventurous, knock the bottle down to about the top of the neck, and then just hit it with just a pinch of citrus vodka to replace that lime. Dude, out of this world. It tastes so good, but it'll get you quick.
Yeah, I can imagine. So that's kind of like the Reds Apple Ales and Fireball shots.
Oh, man, that'd be good. I never thought about that.
Yeah, I'm not a Fireball fan, so.
So you never tried that combo? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I've tried it.
I feel like there's a story there that we don't need to be talking about on the podcast.
I couldn't remember it if I wanted to.
That's awesome. Like I could sit here and talk about drinking, but I don't think anybody wants to hear that stuff. So we're going to move on.
On to the next one.
Yeah, moving on. So we talked about some possible guests, with Davis and stuff like that. So Will and I are using an app called Discord. A lot of gamers use it. Like Fortnite's the big trend right now. All these guys use Fortnite to communicate and that kind of thing instead of using the in-game chat. And it also works for stuff like this too. Whether it's meant for that, honestly, I can't tell you. I'm a loser. I play Fortnite. So, this stuff works out for me. I can use this, and then my screen broadcasting program also records. And it took us so long to get a podcast figured out. But, we got this going now, and basically we can start a Discord conversation and add whoever we want to it. So, if we find a guest, like, say, Davis or anybody for that matter that wants to come in and join the podcast and maybe for an episode or maybe hell for the season, somebody like Jason Magnum would be hilarious to have on here.
Oh, yeah, that guy was awesome.
Shout out to the big girls, too.
That's right. That was funny.
He was absolutely killing me, dude.
Yeah.
So if anybody didn't watch the major, on the Facebook live stream or wherever you happen to watch it, they had it a couple different places. But they had, which I thought was also cool. They had players and coaches and some other people affiliated with U-Trip in the booth doing the games, and they had Jason Magna up there for a couple of games. And dude, it was priceless. By far, he stole the show.
He did. That was some fun entertainment right there.
What was he saying? What is it? Collins 30 days fresh off the beach or whatever it was. Whatever it was, I don't remember. Was it freshly rested Andrew Collins or whatever it was? Either way, whatever it was, I was rolling.
Yeah,
he was cracking.
What game was he on?
Oh, that's a good question. He did a couple of different games, I think. I can't remember specifically which games they were. I think he might have did one of the Dan Smith games because he was talking about Andrew Collins.
Yeah.
And maybe it was the Smash It and Dan Smith game because he took a couple of digs at Purcell. Like it's not like I know any of these guys personally, so me sitting here talking about him might be slinging a little bit of mud on myself. But yeah, I think it's no secret if you follow conference softball at all that Purcell's kind of got a bad attitude. Sometimes he's gotten a lot better. I'll give him credit for that. He has gotten so much better as far as showing his attitude on the field and. Kind of yelling at the umpires and things like that. So credit is due there, and you for sure got to give it to him. But I guess he's got a little aggression thing towards trash cans in the dugouts. What was it? I can't remember what happened. Something happened, and Magnum says, what was it? He said, that ball was hit harder than Purcell hits a trash can on a Saturday.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Dude just had
that was just one of the many.
Oh, dude,
one-liners.
Yeah, dude had me rolling.
Yeah, that guy was funny.
We were talking about him. Me and Gabe were in a podcast one time, and he sent me a message on Facebook. Said, "Hey man, thanks for the shout out." So either somebody pointed it out to him or he listens to the podcast. So maybe here's another guy. Hey man, if you're listening, jump in, get some Discord, and let's do a little podcasting, dude. Let's hear some stories because that dude's got stories.
Yeah, we need a comedian on here.
Yeah, but better than us, man. We're too dry.
Yeah, we suck.
So let's see what else we got here. As far as what other topics we want to cover. Oh, you talk about Jason Branch, man. You talked about Jason Branch earlier. Anybody watch the home run derby and see Branch just like straight up snap a bat over his knee?
I don't think that's the first time he's ever done that.
Dude, that's insane. Like, I can't imagine. Of course, he did say on the Old Scout, because, the Old Scout, like everybody can hide behind a keyboard and say something.
Yeah.
Somebody called him out for snapping a bat over his knee and blah, 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 blah. And see, that's the thing that's cool about him is he chimed in and he's like, hey, I did break the bat over my knee. I shouldn't have did that. I was disappointed in my performance. The bat was already cracked at the taper. It was taped together. It had been hitting in BP, whatever else. And I was mad. The bat was done, so I just cracked it over my knee.
Nonchalantly.
Dude, you looked like a man amongst children breaking a bat over your knee. Like, I didn't even know it's possible to break a composite bat over someone's knee.
Yeah, congrats. 75% of the conference is now terrified of you.
Yeah, as if they weren't anyway. Man, that dude can hit a ball like no other. Like, that's probably one of my favorite signature things about Jason Branch is when he gives that good ooh when he hits a ball.
Yeah,
that's
favorite, when you know he hits it.
Yeah,
and he's down on one knee.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's like Adrian Beltre.
Yeah, it's exactly what he's like. With maybe a little more flair. I mean, let's be real.
Oh yeah.
So that man, if that dude was on my team and he did something like that at a crucial moment, you can't tell me that wouldn't get you up.
Oh God, yeah.
Like the dude or hate the dude. If he's on your team and he's doing that, you're getting fucking pumped. Man, let's do potty mouth tonight. You're getting freaking pumped up. But that was just crazy. I think the only other time, of course, I'm sure it happens, more than we see. But John Williams did it last year with a helmer.
Yeah, I saw that.
Crushed a ball. I mean, absolutely crushed it. Dude made a good play on it. Just took a helmer and just pow right over his knee. Like, God dang, dude. It's just crazy. The crazy amount of strength it would take to do something like that. I can't even imagine. Like, I thought about going out to the garage and getting a bat, and then I was like, nah.
Yeah, let's try this.
Yeah, some bat I don't care about. Nah.
I care about my knees too much for that.
Yeah, I'm out, dude. My knees, my quads, whatever. It's gonna hurt. That's all I can tell you for sure.
Yeah.
So, I guess one last thing. I know the guys like to hear the major talk. The one last thing I did kind of want to cover You and I kind of talked about this before the podcast. You said you really weren't aware of the situation. I guess it's not really a situation. It's not like it's anything bad. Nightmare, the Double A team, they're based out of Missouri, and their main sponsor, Nolan. God dang it, I can't think of his last name. Save my life right now. But anyway, the dude with if anybody ever watches Nightmare play, he's the dude with the long hair. He bats lead off and he plays second base. I'm not here to knock anybody's, caliber of player because I'm not necessarily anything to write home about either. So I'm not going to knock the guy for, being whatever kind of caliber player he is. But, he may not be up to par to the other guys on his team. So he kind of, gets some help for that. Somebody was ripping on him on the Old Scout about that. But these guys signed contracts to play with him, so they know what they're getting themselves into. I don't understand that.
Well, I mean, I look at that situation, and didn't Steele Lewis play for Nightmare?
I believe so. At one point, maybe.
So
I know Corey Briggs did.
Yeah, maybe it's just a stepping stone type thing. They really don't give a shit how they do that year, what their team does. Which that sounds bad, but let's be real.
Oh, sure. I mean,
they're looking to get picked up by someone else.
Yeah, and I think he's well aware that some people kind of use that as, their shot to go big, and I think he's fine with that. He's paying, they're playing.
Yeah, he's got to be okay with it.
Sure, and as much as people bounce and jump around teams anymore, it's no shocker either.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's what somebody else said on the Old Scout was everybody's the roster turnover every year, and I believe it might have been DW. If it wasn't, it was somebody else that's a regular poster. Pointed out that there was 6 or 7 guys that was on that team, last year that are on it this year. So
yeah,
that's one of those things, man. If the guy's paying the money to play, he's taking all his guys with him, and he's taking care of his guys, and they know what they're getting themselves into. Who cares? Like everybody that's judging. In pointing out and pointing fingers and making fun of this dude, whatever, that's just nothing but jealousy that you can't put yourself in their shoes. It's, you're not putting your team in a good position to win if you're doing that. You've got to know you're killing the team. And, like I said, those guys know what they signed up for. And DW pointed out, no, when DW, it's one of his former players. I'm sorry. It was one of his former players that pointed out, anytime they needed a big hit, dude was right there with a hit. So,
yeah.
You knock him all you want, but dude's paying guys to play. He's out there enjoying himself. That's how he wants to spend his money. Who cares? You know what other people spend their money on? Cocaine and hookers.
Exactly.
New topic. So, what you got, man? You got anything you want to talk about? Tell us what you want to talk about, Will.
Let's talk about those Eastons this year.
Oh, dude. Tell me all about it.
All right, so I didn't really believe all the hype, I guess, because for those that don't know, I've been swinging an Easton vet from last year, and it's got about 600 or 700 swings on it, and it's ballistic, and I think it fails compression a lot. So it sounds like a bazooka when it makes contact, and it's awesome. So I bought another one this year from 2017, thinking that I'll just put 100 swings on it or so, and it'll be just as good as a 2018.
Sure.
Well, the next day I found a Fab 14 for a pretty good deal that I couldn't pass up, so I bought it. And if anybody was on the fence about Easton this year, they are for real. That Fab 14 feels better than my 600 swing 2017 vet. So.
And it's crazy, man. I mean, the Eastons were good last year. They were really good, but
they were really good.
Like this year, they're just like last year. The performance was good. I feel like they could have been a little more forgiving. And this year, they just they got the whole package, dude.
Yeah, it's like the ST100H all over again.
Oh man, see, and that's the only thing that sucks though is, unless you get a Fireflex or what is it, the Balance Easton Ghost, like you can't get anything without going through Smash It or some kind of other exclusive dealer.
Yeah, man, that's the only downside.
Yeah, that's just crazy to me.
I mean, I think on Easton's behalf, it was a great marketing tactic, but for me and you, I don't know. I hate exclusives, to be honest with you, but
Right. Because, I
you
mean,
know,
nine times, yeah,
I've got 6 of them in my bag now. So
you got to
I
do
mean,
what you got to do. But here's the deal, though.
yeah.
Did you overpay for them? Ask yourself the question. Did you overpay for them?
Did I? No, I'm way too cheap. So
Right. And see, that's the thing. Like, you can have exclusives without overpaying for them, but, you get the
yeah, I agree.
guys, you always watch the guys that hype, and then about a month later, they're selling everything they were hyping. I mean,
That's right.
it's a vicious cycle, man.
Yeah, which this year it seems like the Worth and Mikens kind of took a break, which
Yes.
I think they were way worse than Easton ever was because Easton's not overhyping theirs. At least Easton's exclusives are different barrel lengths, different loads, what have you. For the most part, they're all different.
Right.
But the Mikens are worse. I just got tired of seeing the same damn bat come out over and over and over again.
Right. I mean, there used to be a time where it was something to be an exclusive. It might have a subtle difference, like maybe a different handle, or maybe a different end load, or maybe some special
Sure.
kind of loading, like even a mid load. Barf, but even a mid load. But those days are kind of gone as far as Worth and Mike can go. I mean, they still do a little bit of that here and there, but I mean, essentially, it's just the same soup in a different bowl. And I guess the same could be said for Easton, but at least they're venturing out and doing a 10-inch barrel, an 11-inch barrel. I mean, just do something different, dude, please.
Yeah, I mean, I got to commend them for that. A lot of their bats are probably really, 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 really similar, but at least they're not advertising them as the same bat.
Right.
So who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. Exclusive drive me nuts. I say that like I would game a D2E Psycho in a hot minute, but
Yeah, but that was a different bat than anything that was produced that year. So
sure, in whatever it was, I don't know. God, I can't tell you. The barrel felt, whether it's the barrel or the handle, something felt different. And that end load, oh my word.
yeah, it was there times two.
Yeah, and I'm a short barrel guy, and I would do just about anything to get my hands on one of those.
Yeah, the orange one, the OG.
Oh yeah. I mean, the green one's good. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, yeah, the green one is good. But man, that original, oh man. But you talking about exclusives and every player having a bat. One of the games, I can't remember which one it was. They had Helmer and Wegman in the booth, and dude, I was in DW's chat room, just like firing away questions. I got to the point he was answering them, so I just kept shooting them in there. And
Yeah.
somebody asked a question. I can't remember. It was something to the effect of all these player bats and everything else, and Helmer basically made it known that he wasn't really a big fan of that, which did surprise me.
Yeah, that I didn't know that either.
Yeah, and see, his thing is like, the days of, having a reputation to get your name on a bat are kind of gone. And, he says, that's probably going to aggravate some people and so on and so forth, and so be it. But, that's how it is. And I do have to agree. And it's kind of nice to see his stance on that. I mean,
Yeah, I got to agree too because there for a long time, him and Wegman were the only players from Easton that had their names on a bat.
Right.
And I believe they earned every right to have that. But, you know.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, it was you had Wegman and you had Helmer, and then it evolved from there. It evolved to Baker and then Kirby, I believe.
Yep, Kirby had one.
And then, dude, I mean, it's like everybody and their brothers got one now.
Yeah, and not discrediting any of those other players. Trust me.
No.
But yeah, it takes away from the reward of getting your name put on a bat. I think.
Right. It's like. Go ahead.
That's kind of like I saw Mike and come out with their new stuff this year, and Briggs has his name on the Psycho. I feel like they give everybody, everybody gets their name on the Psycho.
Right. Yeah. The funny thing is, I guess Pearson was really the only one. There was Pearson, and who was it? I guess it was Jimmy Eisenhower.
Yeah, Izzy.
Yeah. He got his name on the cycle, but I mean, obviously he didn't play. But it was somebody. Oh, Brandon Dillon. That's what I was thinking of. Brandon Dillon. Brandon Dillon had the Psycho this year. and he gamed a freak 23 all year long.
Yeah,
Which, I mean, poor
I think
guy. But anyway,
Lee Payne was the only one that hit a psycho this year for
yeah,
what little bit he played.
yeah. And then he moved over to pure, and he's been swinging pure ever since.
Mm-hmm. He did swing that psycho for a little while he was over there, I think.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
See, and that's that'll be interesting too to see. You know, if the rumors are true that KP's going to Resmondo. I mean, what's he going to do with his miking contract? Because I know at the time that he signed it, it was a pretty big contract, and word from a few people that I happened to be in communication with, basically said it was going to be about 6 figures to get him out of that contract. So
yeah.
unless somebody ponied up, I don't know. I don't really know what'll happen there. I mean, I guess Kendrick's, and that's another thing too. Jason Kendrick is another one it's good about posting on, the old scout if something is a little gray or maybe they need an answer on something. Yeah, I guess Jason Kendrick was saying that basically, they had it worked out to where, because Mikan's big problem with him playing with an Easton team is, Kyle Pearson gets an award for everything because the dude's a freaking animal.
Yes.
And he gets awards for everything, gets his picture taken and everything else. And he's wearing an Easton jersey in all these pictures. And it's like, well, he's the Mikan guy wearing an Easton jersey. What the hell,
Yeah.
So that was kind of their hang up with it. But I guess they had it worked out to where, he was going to have a Mikan logo on his jersey is what Kendrick was saying. Basically make everything to where it would be proper and correct for pictures and everything else, according to what he was saying. So who knows what ended up happening there? Maybe money talks. Who knows? But
money always talks.
Sure. And, people can flame on these guys for making X amount of dollars or whatever else. But if you had a family to feed, you'd take, the biggest money you could get too. I mean, that's kind of part of the game.
Hell, if you didn't have a family to feed, I mean, why would you not?
Right. But you're talking about KP. That's one thing we didn't talk about earlier, and I meant to. You was talking about the major. So, dude had a pulled oblique, and still an animal, dude, an absolute animal.
Yes, he's a freak of nature.
Smashing backside, just taking there's a few swings, dude. He hit a missile out to left field. I swear the thing was 15 feet off the ground, all the way out there. And landed right in front of the left fielder, but it's just good Lord, dude. You're not even swinging hard and hitting the ball like that.
Yeah.
But, it was impressive to see, he's all hurt and everything, and he's, pushing backside and working the ball around the field. I shouldn't say you don't see Pearson do that stuff, because, obviously you do, but it just kind of put a testament to, everybody else is blowing home runs out of there and kind of doing their thing, and I think Pearson only hit 2 or 3 home runs all weekend. I'd have to look to be sure. But, he's got that oblique strain. You can't twist. You can't turn into a ball. So
yeah, if anyone has ever wondered how much you use obliques or lats when you hit, don't hit for about 6 months and then go hit.
You speaking from experience there?
Let's just say I'm pretty sore right now.
Oh, man, that's great. I was going to ask you about that. I don't know how's your foot and everything doing? Is everything feeling okay?
Yeah, so I've played 2 games, probably in the last 6 months or so, and everything's feeling okay now.
So you're back on the grind, son.
Yeah, well, I had to do something to justify me buying these 3 bats. So.
So now, I guess obviously the winter's coming. Will you guys do winter worlds and stuff like that? I guess, or do you have a league that runs, through the year there, since you're kind of close to the coast and it doesn't get too cold, or what's the deal there?
It still gets pretty cold down here. As of now, I'm not playing any weekends still, but just playing a couple nights of league a week, which
it's still.
Yeah, it's all I really want. I'm not ready to commit to playing weekends again, because with weekends come everything else, and then you got a BP during the week and what have you. So
right,
not interested in that.
Not about
as
that
of
life,
now.
Huh?
No, not right now.
I hear you. Of course, you're about that fishing life too, so that makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. I definitely like doing that more than I do spending a day at a ball field. Not knocking people that like spending the day at the ball field, but I just like to fish. So
right, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's you've played your share of tournament ball and been there and done that stuff, and you can pick it up again whenever you want to. Fishing's your thing right now.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, there's probably the biggest tournament in the Missouri area is literally it started tonight. Usually it doesn't start on Friday night, but it did tonight. It's going to run through the entire weekend. It's the Home Runs for Heroes tournament that me and Gabe always talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting here wearing one of their shirts right now. This is the first year since that tournament started back in, oh my gosh, have to be 2011, I think. This is the first year that I'm not going, and I'm not really upset about it. I've had a horrible year. This is, I can take BP until my hands bleed, until I can't move. I don't know, man. It's just I've been in a funk all year long. And, I was getting pretty frustrated, showing up to league and playing like crap and getting mad. And, I kind of realized, like, I'm coming out here to see my friends. Like, I'm playing softball and I'm getting mad. And the only thing I'm coming out here for is to see my friends. So I kind of stepped away, took the fall off. I'll reevaluate in the spring, see how I feel as far as, I'm ready to play now. I know better. So we'll see what happens in the spring. The part of it is I can't get picked up to play anywhere, so that kind of inhibits things too. So maybe I kind of pimp myself out a little bit next year. I don't know, but see what happens. But I mean, I'm upset that I'm not playing just because it's tradition for me to be there. But I'm not upset that I'm not playing because I ain't got to deal with that crap. I ain't going to be there all weekend.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing is, when you work a lot during the week, you kind of enjoy your weekends.
Sure, yeah. Absolutely.
But like I said, a lot of people enjoy being at the ball field all weekends. I'm just not that guy anymore.
Right. And that's the thing is, like, my wife likes going with me too. I mean, she goes to damn near every tournament with me, and we bring the kids and have a grand old time. But it just, I'm kind of over it. Like, I'm going to a friend of mine's wedding tomorrow and skipping this big tournament to go to a friend of mine's wedding. And, I didn't even think twice about it. I'm bummed out that I'm not going to be there to see everybody because usually that's, the one time a year I get to see damn near everyone. And I'm not, but, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I look at it now.
Right. But, so tell me something, speaking of which.
Okay.
Dude, I'm the worst human ever. Your glove and your hat is still riding around on the back of my car. So, on topic of that, my man Will here, relacing some gloves, did some work for me. I stick to this audio podcast thing. I'm kind of digging it because you don't feel obligated to have to sit down and look at the phone. You can turn it on and walk away, but I'm going to put up some pictures right here of my glove before and after. I got a Vinci TJ 1952-L, which means it's all leather. I had that thing. I ordered it custom, had it for years. I sold it because I needed some money really bad, and ended up buying it back from the guy that I got it from. But it was hurting, and it was hurting. Will tell you, it was hurting bad.
It was, but the leather was still in really good condition. I think I messaged you the night that I got it and opened it up. How nice the leather was.
Yeah, it just needed some attention is all.
Just a little love.
Yeah, that's right. So, Will, my man, he's got Perfect Webs on. That's Webs with 2 B's.
Perfect _ Webs.
Yeah, on Facebook and Instagram. You've been relacing gloves. You've been relacing any gloves lately?
Yeah, I've got a few. I do it more out of just a hobby, really. I mean, I'm not in it to make any money, and I try to do a really good job, and I try to be really meticulous with what I do. But
see, and that's
it's more of a hobby.
Yeah, and that's the best way to do it. You're enjoying yourself. It's a hobby. You should have fun doing it. If you don't, why are you doing it?
Yeah, that's right.
So what's the coolest glove you've done so far?
Oh,
I mean, aside from mine, obviously.
Honestly, I think yours probably would be it.
Really?
Simply because that web was a bitch. I've never seen an H web laced like that, and it threw me for a loop.
What did you? Oh, but see, that's why you said what you take all the pictures and everything to kind of give you a reference, so you can kind of,
Oh yeah,
run back through it, get everything done. It did a great job. The red on red. I don't know why I'm such a fan of it, but I am. I got the red on red. I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. I was hesitant to relace it for so long because, obviously the glove fades. I mean, it was damn near pink when I sent it to you because it didn't matter. I conditioned it a few times, but didn't seem to matter. I couldn't get the color to come back to it. But whatever you did worked because it's vibrant, it's red, it's bright, it's bold again. But I was worried that I wouldn't be able to find the lace to match. But I had a lace that busted right in between the fingers, and being a pitcher with a busted glove, I ain't about that life.
nah, that's just asking to get hurt.
Exactly. So I sent it out to you, hooked it up with some black lace, and I trusted you. We debated what to do, and you picked the black, and it looks good. So if you don't even know if you need your glove relaced, don't even know what color you want, Will's gonna hook you up, guys. Let's see what else we got on our little list here to talk about. I think we're gonna get off the topic of softball for a little bit.
Let's do it.
All right. So tell me, Mr. Clemson fan, about this quarterback controversy. Yeah, sorry if some of you guys don't listen to any of this stuff or pay attention to college football, but kind of ate up with college football. I'm a loser. I listen to sports talk radio at work. So this is kind of a hot topic right now if you follow college football at all. So give me the scoop. What's the take, man?
All right, so basically we had the number one overall quarterback. I think he was actually number one overall recruit of any position from Georgia, Trevor Lawrence. He came in this year as a freshman, and he's a big guy. He's got long blonde hair. It's really pretty. I'm kind of jealous because I'm all bald.
He's a beautiful creature.
Yeah. Anyway, but he's good. He's got an absolute cannon, and he's a prototypical pocket passer, which is kind of different for us because we had Deshaun Watson who was a pocket passer, but he had some mobility too. But anyway, so this guy comes in and basically takes the starting job from Kelly Bryant, who took us to the playoffs last year. And now Kelly Bryant is leaving.
Right. I mean, he had the option to be red-shirted. And basically what it came down to is what? If he played one more snap of football after week 4, then he was stuck there, right?
Yeah, well, I think he would have had to sit out a year. He could have transferred, but I think you would have had to sit out a year and then go.
So how's that work? I mean, can he transfer somewhere else and start right now, or will he have to wait? What's the deal?
Yeah, so it's my understanding that now you can start or you can play in 3 games and still transfer and be eligible to play that year. So yeah, as far as I know, he could transfer right now and start on the team.
See, and there's a lot of people that are, I don't. It's not that I don't pay attention to Clemson football, but I'm kind of an SEC guy. There's too many teams to keep track of. I keep track of like some of the bigger conferences, but there's not like 130 something D1 schools. You can't keep track of all that crap.
No, there's no way.
I keep track of the SEC because Mizzou is in there. In that conference, and the ACC because it's obviously a very relevant conference in just about every damn sport there is. And I guess everybody's kind of razzing this guy because he's bailing out and not going to stick around and ride it out or whatever else. But you be real with it and realize that damn near everybody goes to college so they can have a shot to go pro.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see both sides of that because, in my opinion, his style of quarterback play is not a professional style.
Right.
But, I understand wanting to, you play 1 year and take us to a playoff, and then the next year a true freshman comes in and takes your job. I can't say that I blame the guy for wanting to transfer out and have an opportunity, if nothing else.
Sure, I mean he's got to do what's good for him at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's what he should do.
But I guess there's a lot of mixed feelings on that and whatever else. But if you're looking to move up, looking to do what's good for you as far as your playing career in football and things like that, I mean, if you can go somewhere and know you can start, that's the other thing too. You got to find a school that's going to be relevant. Where he's transferred, they haven't said where he's transferring to, have they?
I haven't heard anything.
No, I didn't think so. So it'll be, kind of a crapshoot to see where he ends up going. But the other gamble with it too is, I mean, Clemson is. You guys are going to be up the creek without a paddle if what's this guy gets hurt. This quarterback you got now gets hurt. You're going to end up with a walk-on as a starting quarterback.
Yeah, you're one injury away from being, a shit show.
Right. So it's kind of a bold move on their part to redshirt him, which basically in terms released him too.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of crazy. That and kind of the other thing that I found interesting, and I was kind of giving you the rundown on this. This is a kind of a team player thing. How team are you? CC Sabathia yesterday playing the Tampa Bay Rays. Was it like the 5th inning, and the Yankees are up 11-0. Sabathia throws a 2-seam fastball, runs back in, and hits a batter on the wrist. And the Tampa Bay Rays come out the next inning and throw at, I want to say it might have been the first batter of the inning. Not even like, at his ribs, at his feet. They went head high on this dude.
Yeah, like there was a clear target there.
Yeah, and just, he bailed out, and umpires warned both teams. I mean, obviously you could see what was going on. And it was talked about before the game. CC Sabathia needed, I can't remember, it was 7 into something innings to get a $500,000 performance bonus for throwing a certain amount of innings, 100, 155 innings for the season. And he comes out the next inning after, their guy got thrown at. First pitch of the inning, Sabathia just straight up plunks this dude right on the thigh. Didn't even hesitate, dude. I mean, what an animal.
Yeah, that guy was a savage.
I mean, how team are you? I mean, would you, if somebody's pissing mental on your pitcher and you had a $500,000 bonus on the line to, I don't know, hit a bunch of home runs, and you had a chance to hit a home run and you just like gassed a fucking pitcher. I mean, how team are you? Would you do that?
Nah, I'm probably taking the money. No, but I mean,
sorry, bro. I got you next time.
yeah. I don't know. In his situation, I would have done the same thing because I pitched a little bit in high school, but
yeah, and it's
yeah, I kind of got that mentality.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, it's listening to Golick and Wingo on ESPN, they were talking, and dude made 200. That's not counting endorsements or whatever else he's had money wise. Just what he's made playing baseball, the sport itself from MLB. He's made $256 million. And for him to miss out on $500,000 to kind of back his team up, dude, like your team, bro. I mean, that's you've made a lot of money, but $500,000 is a pretty good chunk of change. You give money to your agent, you get taxes taken out. You're still walking away with $350K. And you cost yourself that money to just plunk a dude. But here's what I think about that. What's to say, and I was talking with a guy at work about this, what's stopping Aaron Boone from putting him back in to pitch a couple innings towards the end of one of the games over the next weekend? Because, I mean, the MLB season wraps up this weekend. What's stopping, him from, saying, all right, go out there and get you a couple innings, get yourself paid, whatever. I mean, can you imagine the uproar that would be because of that?
I mean, you would think that Aaron Boone would probably consider that, being that Sabathia is such a veteran.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's a kind of I should say self-respect, but it's kind of a respect thing, I guess. Boone can say, "Hey, go out there and grab you a couple innings." I mean, they're in the playoffs. It's not like they're going to be hurting that bad. And you could throw him 3 innings for the next 3 nights. You could let him pick up 3 innings somewhere. You could do it a million different ways.
Yeah.
But you talk about Sabathia. Got us on the topic of something else earlier. Your boy David Wright, Mr. Mets fan. Boy, David Wright's hanging it up, huh?
Yeah, it's I think it's time. It's from what I've seen. Once you have back issues, it's a pretty much done deal.
Yeah, I mean,
you'll never be right again. I guess, no
right.
pun intended.
Yeah, he's man, dude was a stud, man. He was so fun to watch play. So I'm trying to think. They were talking earlier. Said he hadn't played for like basically about the last 3 years. He really hadn't played a whole lot just because of that injury. So I mean, you can't knock the guy for wanting to hang it up, but it just kind of sucks, man. Because I mean, he was kind of the face of the Mets, and one of the more exciting players to watch in the game. And he's such a good role model. I mean, the dude kept his nose clean. He was never in trouble.
Yeah, that's why I always liked David Wright. Like you said, he stayed out of trouble, stayed low key, very fun player to watch. Me playing some third base back in the day, it was he was one of my role models, which I didn't realize that he had played as long as he did. Yeah, until they were talking about it. So
he's been around for a minute.
He has.
He don't look that old either, so that's kind of half of it too.
Yeah.
But let's see. So I guess he's going to finish the weekend out. He's not starting, right? I mean, they activated him. But,
well, he got a pinch hit tonight, and
did he get a hit?
No, he actually swung at the first pitch and grounded out the third base.
Oh, come on!
So,
I mean, we all antsy. I mean, you can't watch a pitch or two.
Yeah, well, he's gonna start tomorrow beside Jose Reyes. Which him and Jose kind of came in around the same time. But
sure, yeah.
But yeah, going back to the first pitch thing, I don't know if it was nerves or what, but I've always been a first pitch hitter. If I see something that I like on the first pitch, that's what I'm gonna swing at. I'm not a fan of putting myself in a hole right off the get go.
Sure.
Especially in baseball or softball, in softball especially, I guess, because you get the pump fakes and the what have you.
Right.
You go down 0-1, you've only got one more strike, and you're basically at the risk of what the pitcher wants you to swing at. So
absolutely. Was it Bo Goins? I'm not friends with the guy, but I'm sure you've seen the pitch because I mean, he was playing with our buddy Cliff Connor when they won B Worlds. I'm sure you've seen the clip of him, just like whipping that little pitch in there quick and then faking the overhand.
Yeah, dude, that was pretty sick.
Sick, dude. I mean, I'm probably gonna stand there and watch that go by 10 times out of 10 and not realize what happened until it was too late.
Yeah, and shout out to Cliff, man. That's a good dude.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, he goes clear back to the old softball fans days. I know he's kind of in your neck of the woods, but I know him from the old softball fans days, and dude always seems like a good dude, and good for him for winning B World. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, he deserves it, and that team deserved it. They kind of restructured a little bit, but looks like they've made the right moves.
Absolutely. But you're back on topic of the first pitch thing. So I guess you're not the guy that walks up there and tries to pick a blade of grass or that kind of thing. You're up there hacking, huh?
Yeah, I'm up there ready to go. I don't like messing around. I mean, it's just the way that I've always looked at it.
So do you feel like that? Maybe your eye struggles from that. Maybe at times you don't know a good pitch from a bad pitch.
I think my biggest thing is once I get that, if I take that first strike, my mind starts to wander, like what's he going to throw this time or where's he going to go? And I swing at bad pitches more often.
Sure.
So if that first pitch is grooved, that's what I'm going to take.
Right. And it's speaking of eyes, like after I said it, like I got to thinking, talking about eyes and pitching and everything. Dan Smith's pitcher, Mike Nino. I mean, he's right up there with Mooch as far as, fun to watch. I mean, the dude just is crazy with some of the moves and the fakes that he's got. So I didn't realize until Mooch said something about it during one of the games. He's up there doing all that stuff and pitching at the major level with one eye.
Yeah, I had no idea until you told me that. But that's crazy.
Well, I heard Mooch say that, and I was kind of like, hang on a minute. Did he just say that? And I messaged you, and you weren't watching. I messaged like 5 people before. I'm like, is that what he said? Did he say that he only has one eye? And then being the person I am, I was like, I think this dude might be kind of yanking my chain a little bit. Yeah, Mooch can kind of be that way.
Yeah.
So I went as far as creeping this dude on Facebook, and man, it's crazy. One eye, pitching at a major level. Ryan Harvey hitting bullets at you. It's not like he did that weekend. I'm saying in general, you got guys like Ryan Harvey that can hit a freaking bullet at your head. You carry your nuts in a wheelbarrow.
Yes.
What was it, the meme or whatever from Family Guy or American Dad or whatever the dumb show is? Where the dude's carrying around his nuts in the wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
I mean, that is him, dude. No doubt about it.
Yeah, hell, I don't even want to get up there with my nuts attached.
Yeah, I ain't about that life at all. I've
No.
I've had a few middle shots hit at me, and I'm just kind of like, man, like I'm kind of glad that went by.
Yeah.
And that's with 2 eyes. Like I can't imagine. Dude is a savage, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we've about an hour deep in this thing now, getting close to it anyway. Unless you got anything else to cover, I think we're going to call it a wrap here. I don't like to get too far into the podcast because I feel like sometimes we might get to rambling and off topic, but
yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good. So I think we're going to call it a wrap for the BP Hero Podcast, Season 3, Episode 3, brought to you by Evil Sports, softball fans, Perfect Webs. So until next time, we didn't do a Q&A this time because I didn't, want to kind of do the same thing over and over and over again. So, we'll do one next time for sure. Just to, I think it kind of gives us some stuff to talk about, and it kind of lets us engage with the audience a little bit. So we'll definitely do that next time. Maybe have us a guest or two. We'll see what's kind of cracking with that and go from there. But until
Sounds
then,
like a winner.
I think so. I think so. Maybe try to get some video style stuff going soon. I'm not going to make any promises on that, but I think as long as this goes the way it's been going, I think we might be money for doing some video stuff soon. So people can see. Sorry, I had to take a drink. So as people can see, drinking whatever it may be, the Corona, the Schlafly, if any of my Missouri guys are listening. Who knows what it'll be. Maybe we could fire up the drink of the podcast and accept some random drinks again. That was always funny. Me and Gabe were talking about that the other day. The guy that sent, what was it, soda that had root extract in it? Ginger root extract in it? I mean, like, so bad. It was good and bad all at the same time. I mean, like the taste. We were talking about that. I'll have to look. I'll go back and look and see what episode that was. But man, it's just stuff like that. That was fun. You never know what's in the box, and I did that with a couple different guys. They're all saying, serve it. Just throw the. I did. I took the box literally from the front porch and just threw it in the fridge. I didn't know what was in it. All he said was refrigerate it, so that's what I did. So that'd be kind of fun. So maybe we get the video style stuff fired up again. We'll do something like that, but I'm not going to make any promises because I kind of like the audio style stuff for now. I don't know if you guys do or not. I haven't really gotten any feedback from anybody, so maybe if we could get some feedback there and kind of see what's cracking, we'll wrap this one up and catch you next time. So until then, thanks for Will. I'm glad you made it through the hurricane, and made it for another podcast.
Yeah, Jesse, thanks for having me. Glad to be back. Glad I made it through the hurricane also.
So until then, BB Hero Podcast, Season 3, Episode 3. We're out of here, guys.